This video we will talk about the scatter plot, okay? This is one way to graph a paired data set, okay? So paired data set, kind of like x comma y. The x tells you how far left or right to go and the y tells you how far up and down to go. So paired data, each entry in one data set corresponds to another entry in that other data set. So the scatter plot shows the relationship between two quantitative variables, okay? So the example that I give here is length of employment. And we're going to do length in time and years, okay? And then the salary versus the salary in dollars. Okay, so someone worked 2 years and they were paid $25,000. Somebody worked 4 years and that person was paid $27,000. Another person works 5 years and they were paid $28,000. Someone worked 6 years and they were paid $33,000. Someone else worked 6 years and they were paid $30,000. And then someone worked 8 years and they were paid, looks like $37,000. Okay. So how do we do this on a scatter plot? All right. So I'm going to graph the salary. Can be like my y variable. Okay, and the length of time spent at the company can be your x variable. Now when you're doing this, you need to have the ranges. So on the length of employment, the lowest employment amount was 2 and the highest was 8. So I need to have at least 8 tick marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that way I get all of them. And now the lowest amount looks like 25 and the highest amount looks like 37. So I'm going to count by 10,000s. So 10, 20, 30, 40. So 10,000, 20,000. 30,000, 40,000. Okay. So how do we plot this? Well, I'm going to do 2 with 25,000. So you go over to the right 2 and then up 25,000. So I go over 2 and up 25,000 and I put a dot. So that's that first data point. The next data point is 4, 27,000. So I go over to the right 4 and then up 27,000, so it's slightly higher. 5 and 28,000, so that's slightly higher. 6 and 33,000, so that's a little higher. And then 6 and 30,000, so that's a little bit lower. And then the last one is 8 and 37,000, so that's in this range right here. So what does it look like? It looks like we can say over time, salaries are increasing the longer people work at this particular company. It looks like there is a positive correlation, which we will talk about in chapter 9. Okay, so kind of introducing you to something you don't quite need yet, but that's okay. It's always good to hear things more than once. All right, so, but the trend definitely looks like an upward trend. Okay, so the longer you work at this particular company, the more money you make, which hopefully is true. Okay, just off of inflation alone. All right, 2% is a big deal every year, people. All right. Think that'll do it for the scatter plot. Now, one thing I want you to notice about the scatter plot, this would not be a function. Why not? To tell if something's a function, you do the vertical line test, and that means if you draw a vertical line, it passes through each point one time. Where does this fail the vertical line test? Right here. You have 6 inputs that one gives you 33,000 and one gives you 30,000. In the next video, we'll talk about something that's slightly different, and this is how it's different. Okay?